Talk about your career at Leicester. How did you settle initially? How did you find it going into that, making that step up into a Premier League team?
At first, I weren't like that. I never used to get overawed and all that. I was there on merit, and I always try my hardest and that. It's Mark McGee who signed me, but it's mixed emotions at the time because I weren't playing all the time, and I don't care who you are as a player, you should want to play every week, and I did want to play every week, but he actually left about 6 months after me going there, and the best thing happened for me at Leicester. I met the best manager.
You got Mark McGee sacked as well. What have you done?
Nah, he walked out, actually. He walked out. The record's changing, yeah. So he walked out and went to Wolves. Okay. And then Martin O'Neill come into us, who was the best manager, best man manager you could ever have.
You look like such a great motivator of players, Martin.
Yeah. But he never used to coach.
Really?
People think that he coached as his mate.
Because he had the tracksuit on all the time, it made it look like he coached.
Yeah, it did. And what he used to do, he used to come out, yeah, we'd be in the middle of a session and he'd be hiding behind a tree, watching the session, right?
What, literally hiding behind a tree?
Hiding behind a tree, right? And then you'd be watching it, and then you hear, stop! You're like, fucking Gaffer, the Gaffer's there. And he'd be like, he's not happy with something, so what he'd do, small-sided games. Whoever loses, forfeits. And they'd be like, for the forfeits, run round that tree and back in 38 seconds. And we'd be like...
Specifically 38 seconds?
38 seconds. And he'd be like, and when you're getting like 37 or 36, it's like, how the fuck has he gauged that? He must have been out doing it himself or something, you know what I mean? So, but he's another one winning games, right? We could lose at Man United, last minute, played really well, right? And he will not talk to you all week. He will walk past you in the corridor, right? But you win at Scarborough, last minute, be fucking buzzing. Said, boys, see you Thursday, 4 days off. So in your head, you're thinking, you know what? Don't want to lose. One day we lost at Chelsea, FA Cup, and we got robbed. Erling Johnson dived and got a penalty, right? And I'm in London, obviously, I want to stay down. Yeah. He's gone, no, you've got to get back on the fucking coach and come down. You've ruined my weekend, I'm going to ruin yours. So I'm like, so you want to win. You want to win all the time. But he gave me the biggest dressing down in my career as well, and made me realise that I wasn't living right, and that, because I used to go missing sometimes, like in London and that. Party.
Was this round about the times where like the Colosseum was on and this sort of era?
Yeah, it was all about the Colosseum and that. Obviously, like I had fucking birds in London and all that, so I'll go missing and that. And one day, like the season we went up to the Premiership, we beat Crystal Palace last game of the season. Leading up to it, I was involved all the time, on the bench or playing, and I went disappearing, and I tried to come back just before the final with my suit and all that, tried to get involved at Wembley and all that. And I walked through the door, he's gone, listen, get your suit and fuck off. I don't want to see you until next season now. So I was like, okay. So he don't hold grudges as well, yeah? So next season, start on a clean slate. But I fucked up, I was training well. And we was meant to go to army camp on tour for a week. We was leaving on a Sunday at 12 o'clock. I'm late. 12:15, I got there late. They've gone without me. They're going, I think it's Torquay or something like that.
But you weren't best pleased about that.
Mate, and what happened? I made my way the next day. And he said, what happened to you? I said, the trains were delayed and all that. So I said, all right, I thought I got away with it, yeah? So next day, we were at dinner. He's called me out, outside. He's gone, you lying fucking cunt. He's got the times of the trains. He's gone, there was no trains delayed. He's gone, listen, you are going to have the hardest pre-season of your life. So I was travelling with the first team, travelling with the reserve team, and the youth team. So I'm having no days off. One day I might be in Bournemouth, next day Liverpool. So, but you know what? Because I never said nothing and got on with it. After 5-6 weeks, I was in the squad.
5-6 weeks.
5-6 weeks of doing it. I was in the squad at the beginning of the season, all right? And I was in the squad for the whole of the season.
But you was fit.
I was flying. I was super flying. But then it was an occasion, because I used to travel from London to Leicester all the time. And I used to meet Steve Claridge on the way. One time my train was delayed and Claridge had to go. And then I ended up getting a cab from Northampton to training. Turned up late, obviously, but I had rung up and told her.
Plus you had Steve Claridge to verify it.
Yeah, he verified it, and then but he had to leave me, so I had to get a cab. So I got there and I've gone to Steve Walford, Martin O'Neill's number 2. I've gone, what's the fine? So he's gone, you ain't getting no fine. I said, you wouldn't have turned up before. He's gone, you turned up this time and you're making an effort. So that goes a long, long way in our book. And then from there, we was all good. All good. Like, I see Martin O'Neill and he hugs me now. He's gone, I'm proud of you. From where you come from to do what you've done, I'm proud of you.
That's incredible.
What?
That's incredible.
Oh, he's proper nice geezer. He makes me, even now, it make me feel 10 foot tall.
Talk me through the League Cup winning team, if you like. It's quite a bizarre one. It's the last time the League Cup was ever won on a replay, coincidentally. Yeah. So what do you remember about it?
What I remember is that leading up to it, all through the tournament, I played in near enough every single game. I was top scorer along with Heskey on 2 goals. Then we get to Wembley. I get dropped out the whole squad.
This is for the first initial final.
Yeah, for the first initial final, because someone had come back from injury. I'm gutted. I'm fuming. I wanted to beat people up and all that. Right, and then Hess scored the 92nd minute leveller, takes it to a replay.
After Ravanelli got the first one.
Yeah, after Ravanelli gets the first one. And then in between we played Arsenal at Highbury, so he plays the fringe players, and I played wing back. I played really well, and I still never thought, oh, he's going to put me in. Then we go to Hillsborough, and then he names me in the team. On the bench and that. And
only 3 subs as well, but
only 3 subs, and he names me on the bench and all that. And I'm like, fucking hard touch. And then we ended up winning the cup. Stevie Claridge, last minute, 92nd minute or something like that. Winner, great goal.
At Hillsborough as well.
At Hillsborough. I remember it like it's yesterday. Coming back on the coach, Hess getting smashed as well. Because he can't drink, he's tried to drink champagne and that, his dad had to come and take him off.
No way.
Yeah, he was puking up all over the shop.
Let's just appreciate how good that Middlesbrough team was and the build-up they had. The likes of Juninho in the team, Emerson, Ravanelli. Fantastic squad of players as well.
But people underestimated our team. Yes. We had proper good players in our team. We had Simon Grayson, Matty Elliott, Spencer Pryor, Gups. Then we had Neill Lennon, Muzzy Gary Parker, Heskey, Claridge. Good players, really good players. Well, probably the best team that I've played with. Yeah. And they stayed up in that Premiership comfortably every year until Martin O'Neill went. And that's when it fell apart.
Let's talk a little bit about Emile Heskey. He seems to be very underappreciated, but loved by anyone that was around him, in the team with him, or had the privilege to play up front with him. What did you think about him as a player?
Well, I love Emile because he's my roomie. He was my roomie at Leicester anyway. But for me, he's the best player I played alongside. He brought so much to the table that people they've never really appreciated what he brought to the table. He was so unselfish. He done such a great job for the team and that. And he put himself about. People hated playing against him. You ask Rio and Sol, they hated playing against him.
Why do you think they despised playing against him so much?
Because he's aggressive, could run, could hold the ball up, good in the air, and he could finish. right? But if I was a manager, I would have told him not to do so much work outside the box.
Michael Owen said that Emile Heskey was the perfect partner for him to play up front with, the perfect foil, and he enjoyed playing up front with him over any other striker.
Yeah, because Emile put himself about. He was unselfish. It take two defenders away, and then Michael Owen and nick in and score a goal. You know, like his hold-up play was second to none as well. Like, how many assists did he have for Owen as well? You know, so for me as well, like the best player by a country boy that I played with.
Do you enjoy your time at Leicester, and how would you summarise that period of your career?
Listen, I loved my time at Leicester, but I wasn't a regular starter. And I always say, like, you have to start. And the only way you improve as a player is if you play week in, week out, because then you learn from your mistakes. If you're like a bit part player, you don't feel really part. Even when we won the cup, I enjoyed it, but I never felt proper part of it. You know, that's why I made the decision to leave and that. But I always loved the time I had at Leicester, because not many people in football have won anything, and I ended up winning a cup. And then I've won in my career three promotions, which takes some doing as well. You know.